Welcome to another adventure with Ingrid and Chris. Tonight, we travel to a hidden place where memories are as delicate as flower petals. Join us for this journey filled with forgotten secrets, hidden wonders, and the power of friendship. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel for more dreamy tales. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by rolling hills and sparkling streams, there was a place that people spoke of only in whispers. The Garden of Forgetting. It was a secret place, hidden deep within the whispering woods, where it was said that the flowers could make you forget your troubles, your worries, and even your happiest memories if you weren't careful. The garden was a place of mystery, beauty, and magic, and it was guarded by the gentle but wise creatures called the forget-me-not sprites. In the village lived a young girl named Aria. Aria was known for her adventurous spirit, her bright eyes, and her boundless curiosity. One evening, as she sat by the window of her little cottage, she listened to her grandmother's stories. Her grandmother spoke of the Garden of Forgetting, of its beautiful flowers, and of the people who had gone there and lost pieces of themselves, pieces they could never get back. Aria was intrigued. She had always been curious about the whispering woods, and the garden seemed like the greatest mystery of all. She had heard of people going into the garden to forget something painful, but they would often leave, unable to remember even the joy they once had. The thought of a place so powerful and so beautiful made Aria's heart race. The next morning, as the first rays of sunlight filtered through her window, Aria made up her mind. She decided she would find the Garden of Forgetting, not to forget anything, but to see its beauty for herself. She wanted to know if the stories were true. With her best friend, a playful squirrel named Pip, by her side, Aria set off towards the whispering woods. The woods were alive with the sounds of rustling leaves, birds singing their morning songs, and the distant babble of a brook. The path twisted and turned, leading them deeper into the heart of the forest. Pip darted from branch to branch, his bushy tail flicking with excitement. "Are you sure we should be doing this, Aria?" Pip asked, his tiny voice full of nervousness. Aria smiled, her eyes shining with determination. "We have to see it, Pip. The garden holds so many secrets. Maybe we can help people who've lost something there." After what felt like hours, they came across an ancient gate made of intertwining branches and ivy. The gate stood ajar, and beyond it lay the Garden of Forgetting. The air was filled with the scent of flowers, sweet and comforting, but with a hint of something unfamiliar. Aria pushed the gate open, and she and Pip stepped inside. The garden was beautiful beyond words. Flowers of every colour imaginable bloomed all around, their petals shimmering like they were dusted with morning dew. A soft mist hung over the garden, and the light seemed to dance through the air, making everything look like it was part of a dream. In the centre of the garden stood a great willow tree, its branches hanging low, almost touching the ground. As they walked further, Aria noticed something strange. Beneath the willow tree, people were sitting, their faces calm but their eyes distant, as if they were lost in a dream. The forget-me-not sprites, tiny beings with wings like petals, floated around them, whispering softly. Aria approached one of the sprites, her heart heavy with questions. "Why are they here?" she asked softly. The sprite looked at Aria with gentle eyes. "They have chosen to forget," it said, its voice like the rustling of leaves. "They came here with burdens too heavy to bear, and the garden took their memories. But some memories are not meant to be forgotten, and now they are lost." Aria's heart ached for the people beneath the willow. She turned to Pip, her eyes filled with determination. "We have to help them, Pip. We can't let them stay lost." Pip nodded, his tiny face serious. "But how, Aria? The garden's magic is strong." Aria thought for a moment, then looked at the willow tree. She remembered her grandmother's words. Memories are like flowers. They need light to grow. She turned to the sprite. "What if we bring them something to remember? Something that will help them find their way back?" The sprite's eyes brightened. "That may work," it said, "but you must be careful. The garden will not easily give up what it has taken." Aria and Pip set off through the garden, searching for the things that might help the people remember. They found a music box, half buried beneath a rose bush, its tune soft and familiar. They found a child's toy, hidden beneath the roots of an old oak. They found a photo, worn and faded, caught in the branches of a thorny vine. Each item seemed to hum with the memory it held, and Aria carefully gathered them, her heart filled with hope. As they returned to the willow tree, Aria approached the first person, a young woman with flowers in her hair, her eyes closed as if in a dream. Aria knelt beside her and opened the music box. The soft melody filled the air, and slowly the woman's eyes opened. She blinked, her gaze focusing, and a tear rolled down her cheek. "I remember," she whispered, her voice filled with emotion. "I remember the song my mother used to play." One by one, Aria and Pip brought the items to the people beneath the willow. Each time, a memory returned, a smile, a tear, a spark of recognition. The garden seemed to grow lighter with each memory restored, the mist lifting and the flowers glowing brighter. But as they worked, Aria felt a change in the air. The garden was not happy. The flowers began to sway, their petals turning dark, and the ground beneath their feet seemed to tremble. The forget-me-not sprites gathered around Aria and Pip, their wings fluttering anxiously. "The garden does not want to let them go," one of the sprites said, its voice filled with worry. "It will try to keep them." Aria took a deep breath, her heart pounding. "We can't stop now. We have to help them all." With Pip by her side, Aria continued, her voice steady as she spoke to each person, reminding them of who they were, of the people who loved them, of the memories that made them who they were. The garden's magic swirled around them, dark and heavy, but Aria's determination was stronger. She knew that memories, both the happy and the sad, were what made life beautiful. Finally, the last person, a frail old man with a gentle smile, opened his eyes, his gaze meeting Aria's. "Thank you," he whispered, his voice barely audible. "I remember now." The garden seemed to sigh, the tension in the air dissolving. The flowers slowly returned to their original colors, their petals glowing softly once more. The mist lifted completely, and the people beneath the willow began to stand, their eyes clear and their hearts lighter. The forget-me-not sprites danced around Aria and Pip, their voices filled with gratitude. "You have done what many could not," one of them said. "You have brought light back to the garden." Aria smiled, her heart filled with warmth. She looked at Pip, who was beaming with pride. "We did it, Pip. We helped them remember." As the sun began to set, the Garden of Forgetting transformed. It was no longer a place of sorrow, but a place of hope. The people who had been lost began to leave, their steps steady as they made their way back to the village, their memories once again their own. Aria and Pip stood at the gate, watching them go. Pip looked up at Aria, his eyes twinkling. What about you, Aria? What will you remember about today? Aria smiled, her gaze sweeping over the beautiful garden. I'll remember that even the saddest places can become beautiful again, with a little light and a lot of love. And so, Aria and Pip help the people of the Garden of Forgetting find their way back, proving that even the smallest hearts can bring light to the darkest places. If you enjoyed this adventure, please like and subscribe to join us on more bedtime journeys with Ingrid and Chris. Sweet dreams, little adventurers, and remember, our memories, both happy and sad, are what make us who we are.